Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, and even when we were told to get over it, probably by Steve Trevor, still us fans persisted and demanded that the Snyder Cut be released. Hail Snyder! I still can't believe that it's actually happening, and we have a whole host of new updates to talk about, including the announcement of a new trailer, changes to the ending, Army of the Dead Easter eggs, a possible Blu Ray release date, and confirmation that Harry Lennix will indeed be Martian Manhunter in the movie. We're going to be breaking it all down, but if you like the video, or if you don't not like the video, then please drop a thumbs up or down, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for breakdowns like this each and every day. We're giving away 3 copies of both The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings on 4K, but I'll talk about that more towards the end of the video. Anyway, Zack Snyder's Justice League is due to release in March this year, and according to Digital Bits, the Blu Ray, DVD and Ultra HD discs will actually be releasing the same month. A lot of people have been crying out for physical copies of the film to be released, and I'm a huge 4K collector, so seeing that it's getting distributed through traditional means, it indeed warms my heart. Now the update, which was posted on the Digital Bits, basically outlines all the upcoming 4K and Blu-ray titles that are releasing over the next couple of months, and it contains a huge list of films and their release times. Amongst these is clearly listed Zack Snyder's Justice League as releasing in March, along with Wonder Woman 1984, which will be coming out the following month. Now whilst this is unconfirmed at the moment, the Digital Bits aren't really a site that make things up for clicks. I'm looking at you, YouTube, and therefore it doesn't seem like they would post this unless they had at least some reason to. A lot of people in the UK where HBO Max isn't available were very worried that they wouldn't be able to see the series and that they'd have to wait until it was released digitally. This happened in the case of Wonder Woman 1984, and though this was dropped in cinemas, I'm still not even sure if it's out on VOD. However, with the project being released in March and the Blu-ray reportedly coming then too, it does kind of give us an idea of how things are going to line up. Now though we don't have a specific release date for it, we do know that it's going to be split up into 4 chapters, and therefore it's going to probably carry across over 4 weeks. The Blu-ray can likely only be released once those 4 episodes have been shown on HBO Max, so it does seem likely that the first week of March might actually be the time that we get the first episode. That's just me hoping and praying, but you know, that makes a lot of sense to me. I'm actually very curious to see how they're going to handle the physical release, and whether it'll be put out in episodic format or if it'll be one continuous film. Now I'm no disc space aficionado, but from personal experience, when films are over 3 hours in the 4K format, they tend to take up quite a lot of space, even with a 2K DI. Avengers Endgame had to be massively compressed to fit on one disc, and in the case of Lord of the Rings, they actually had to split the film across multiple entries in order to get the extended versions out there. So I can see it being split up as an episodic release, probably across 2 discs. This would mean that there's not really any compromise on image quality, and we can get the full IMAX level pictures displayed on our screens. I didn't buy no $2 grand OLED in a 4K Blu-ray player to watch 2K DI, mate. Are you mad, mate? Sorry, that's my inner Geordie coming out now. As for the trailer, there is rumoured to be one coming out at the end of January / start of Feb. When asked about it, Snyder posted on Vero that he was working on it, so it does seem like it won't be too long before we get some new footage. Now though the Jan-Feb stuff could be true, I kind of feel like it might be released more towards March, as that's closer to the release date, and it will mean that we aren't waiting a number of weeks before it's out. It makes sense for them to hold off on stuff just to keep the hype there, and as this is going to be the final trailer, it's probably best to drop it just before the release date. Now as for the movie itself, we have some new updates on the ending, and in an exclusive report from Collider that Harry Lennix will be playing Martian Manhunter in the film. Mega exclusive this. Wish I'd known this 2 years ago when I was making videos about how he was playing Martian Manhunter in the movie, whilst Collider were putting out articles saying that it didn't exist, but we'll not go into that. We'll not go into that one. Not get into how you lied and ruined my entire life. Anyway, here's the clip in which Lennox confirms that he will indeed be playing Martian Manhunter in the movie.
I think, you know, we could put the rumor to bed. Yes, I am the Martian Manhunter.
Hooray!
Yeah, so I am eternally grateful to Zack for seeing it through. You know, it came about in a very circuitous way, right? You know, the fans demanded that his vision be given a fair hearing, a fair viewing. if you will. And so he actually tagged me on a post. It was an Instagram post where he showed the canisters of the cut, of Snyder cut, and so it's complete. When exactly it comes out, I don't know. I've heard March. I don't know when in March, or even if it will be in March. But that said, I'm over the moon about it. And to be in all honesty, I had never heard of Martian Manhunter until Zack, brought him to light. And of course, a lot of fans did know about Martian Manhunter. But I tell you, he's a founder of the Justice League, a co-founder, a very powerful figure. And it's going to be great to be up there with Batman and Superman and my pals. So yeah, I'm once again like a kid at a candy store.
He said he never heard of Martian Manhunter. Get him! Now obviously the guy's over the moon about this, and there was a lot of worry over whether Zack would actually be able to film the scenes with Harry because they didn't have the time to get them before he exited the original theatrical release. When the additional footage was being filmed, it was of course happening during the pandemic, so there was a lot of worry over whether Martian Manhunter would actually be included in the release. So it looks like things are all coming together for it, and some of the things that he says makes me think that we have some clues about where and when he could appear in the movie. Now originally in the script, Martian Manhunter was supposed to show up at the end after it was revealed that he and General Swanwick were one and the same. He was reportedly going to be accompanied by Green Lantern not long after this, but things are still up in the air over whether he will be appearing in the cut or not. Manhunter was meant to show up as Bruce was starting to uncover the truth about Darkseid, and this would kind of tease that bigger threats were coming down the line. However, the way that Harry talks about being up there with Superman and Batman makes me think that he might even appear in the climactic battle at the end against Steppenwolf. Perhaps he could show up at the last second to help everyone duke it out, and maybe he will even appear alongside them as they stand together for the team shot. That is of course speculation at the moment, but there is another possible position he could play, which we'll talk about in just a bit. Now, because we're going into the ending, the next part of the video will contain spoilers for it and its cliffhanger, so if you don't want anything ruined, then I recommend that you turn off now. Anyway, if you're still here, thanks for sticking around, and the film is apparently going to close out with a flash forward of 5 years, in which we'll see the nightmare sequence play out in full effect. The world has been completely decimated, and according to reports we'll see a road-weary Batman, Joker, Mira played by Amber Turd, Flash and Deathstroke. Now according to the original storyboards that were mapped out by Jim Lee, the characters would be seen dragging a badly damaged cyborg into Batman's base, which is what the Batcave had been transformed into. However, I have heard that things go beyond this, and that we actually see them going into it, which is where we discover that they've been mapping out the cosmic treadmill. We know that Cyborg has hologram technology, so it is possible that he could even show them a diagram of this before we cut to black. Flash of course used that item to travel back in Batman v Superman, and therefore setting it up here means that if they want to leave things in a cul-de-sac, we at least have some closing of the chapter. However, no one wants that, yeah? Get to it, Hamada. We want more Snyder stuff. Little side theory here, but I actually think that Walter Hamada may have even said the cul-de-sac comment in order to get hashtag restore the Snyderverse trending. But yeah, might be giving him a bit too much credit there, but I can't think of any other reason why he'd take a poop on the project like that. Anyway, Zack is of course busy with other stuff, namely his Netflix movie, which we know is called Army of the Dead. However, that didn't stop the director dropping a little tribute to the mythical Snyder Cut in his brand new post-apocalyptic world. Snyder recently released a still from the upcoming film that showed the cast of characters entering a bank vault filled with cash. However, the people with Superman's vision amongst you may have noticed that in the top left corner there appears to be some canisters that look very similar to the Snyder Cut ones that were used to house the film. These were posted on Zack's Vero just when the movement was starting to pick up, and they were used as a way to shut people up who were denying that the cut even existed. We won't forget, never forget, and never forgive! Anyway, it's a cool little Easter egg, and I don't hate you, Collider. You're special, I love you, and I'm glad that we can experience the Snyder Cut in March. That's every update that we have so far this week, and obviously I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. Now, as a thank you for interacting with the video, you'll be entered into a prize draw where we're giving away 3 copies of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings 4K box set to our subscribers. All you have to do to be on the chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the updates. The winners are going to be chosen at random on the 30th of January, so best of luck to everyone who takes part. Now, if you want something else to watch, then make sure you check out our breakdown of the Spider-Man 3 updates, which will be linked on screen right now. We talk about trailer stuff, what's going to be in the film, and a lot more, so it's definitely worth watching if you're bored right now, let's be honest. Now, with that out of the way, if not and you've got a fun-filled life, well, thanks for sitting through the video. As always, I've been Paul, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.